Thank you for tuning into the latest episode of the Splashcast, your go-to podcast for news and discussion in the world of sports. This show is produced by Creative Logic Solutions. Whether the project is big or small, let Creative Logic Solutions help bring your vision to life. Catch our latest episodes and stay updated with the world of sports by tuning into the podcast live on Mondays or catch the re-air on Dive Team Media Network, where you can also check out other Dive Team Media content as well. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 225 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. We are blessed. We are highly flavored. We happy to see you. Come on in and have a seat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you listen to the playback, please go back and listen to the mic check. Had a good one. Talked about Atlanta Braves chop talk. And had a good discussion about the new ABS system in baseball, as well as we discussed Tiger Woods as well.
And get your ass in that Uber.
Just call an Uber, Shawty. With that being said, we're gonna start out with our HBCU news around the culture, followed by football. Then we'll take a break. So, first off, we're gonna start out with Yanis Charles of Morgan State University. Makes it to the finals of the EIWA championships. This is Morgan State's first year wrestling in 27 years. The nation's only Division I HBCU wrestling program in the country. And not only did Yanis make it all the way to the finals as a 12 seed in EIWA championships, defeating the number 5, the number 4, and number 1 seed from Navy. He also got invited to the nationals as well. So shout out to Morgan State. Shout out to Yanis, man. That's pretty dope.
Yep, he beat 5 from Drexel, Luke Nichter, 4 from Binghamton, Finn Nadeau, and then a dramatic win over top-seeded Navy wrestler Jonathan Lay, and a long shot, as Reggie said, 12th position. Congratulations to him. That makes me feel good. I appreciate that a lot. There's joy in that.
Throwing Anglos around.
Wrecking them, boy. Hey, who's that guy? He keeps slamming everybody. Hey, man, give us all the sports. Give us all the sports and give us a chance.
This follows the MEAC's really push into other sports. Howard with diving, you got lacrosse, you have all of
that fits gymnastics team.
Yeah. All of that's right. So they are pushing into different genres of sports, and we love it. So shout out to Morgan.
It is very interesting how, with just a little bit of opportunity, how these HBCU schools have been able to make big impressions relatively quickly. Just literally, hey, just give them a shot.
Yeah. And it's gonna grow. Moving on. Mo. So there is always going to be movement. It started out in college football amongst HBCU coaches, and now it's moving its way to basketball. 2 basketball coaches are moving on from their head coaching positions in the SWAC and moving on to Division I staff. Mo Williams leaves Jackson State and is headed to Kentucky. That's a big deal.
And as Kentucky is swirling about trying to get back to the Calipari era, this is a big opportunity. If he can come in and have some major influence, it would be great to a college basketball blue blood. If you could be there at the right time, it would skyrocket your opportunities here in the future, especially coming from an HBCU. That's a big time move.
It is, and he's already got the name and the experience backing him, going from Jackson State, coaching experience, playing in the NBA, playing SEC basketball. Correct? He went to Alabama, right?
Yep. Also, I'm going to make the same request that we made of Dion with you. Hey, man, leave somebody there to take over and keep this program moving in the right direction. It's of the utmost importance that, yes, congratulations, you're going to the big leagues, kid. but also make sure that when you leave the HBCUs, you leave them in a good condition where that they can move forward as of the utmost importance.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And then Alabama State's men's head coach, Tony Madlock, is leaving, going to join Penny Hardaway's staff at Memphis. Penny trying to get a jolt into that program after a couple of years of disappointment. Brings in Madlock, who is an experienced head coach, has led at Alabama State for a number of years. This is a great hire for Penny.
Yeah, this is a really big move. But I will say, as big of a move this is a big risk too. As Reggie has aforementioned, Memphis is trying to figure it out and try to figure it out on the fly. I think that Penny is more of a old school at heart type of coach who has gotten in during the NIL era and is trying to kind of figure out what that looks like and what that looks like structurally and what does that look like on a, just on a coaching horizon. So if you can help him stabilize this program and make this program big and good, then you're going to get associated with a lot of the success of it.
Yeah, man. And Tony's the guy. He turned Alabama State around. 20 I was thinking it was last year, 2024, 2025. Yeah, led them to their first 21 season in almost 20 years, and then won 3 straight games in the SWAC tournament and made the tournament. And he was HBCU Coach of the Year. So, and they won the first ever. He got their first ever tournament win. I didn't know that, against St. Francis. In the first 4 games. I forgot about that. So yeah,
I didn't hit. Might be time to go ahead and get another check, baby.
Strike while the iron is hot,
right?
Baby.
Hey.
And I ain't mad at it, man.
Barbecue and mildew. But once again, just leave it in a good position, but go get your money. And I think that it should be the overarching thought from this entire segment is the HBCU's position has changed, and that's fine. It's going to continue to evolve no matter what. But what we can do is, number one, we can use this as an opportunity to influence these Power 5, Power 4 schools. And if you do it continuously, then that's where they're going to come and look for the best coaches. And eventually, you're going to be able to create that relationship between those Power 5s where, hey, we're giving you coaches. How about you send us some players? Everybody ain't going to make it.
I told y'all. And if you can figure out how to be that tier, because as the schools that are going to hurt in this whole NIL era are JUCOs, because now you could just go to HBCUs are basically trying to take the mantle of JUCOs, right? So now you just go to HBCU, will pay you a little bit of money and get you, or to whatever Division 2, whatever it is. Right. I think Nevada was saying the same thing, and we'll get you to where you need to go. So if you can embrace that, not only for the players, but if you could figure out how to navigate the NIL from a coaching standpoint, you're now way more attractive to a Division 1 program staff. And I think that's you're going to see more and more HBCU coaches move up.
And I think that is, and that's kind of where I was going is you have to be able to do a lot with a little at the HBCU level. That's just the nature of the game right now. So if you can be successful without having a ton of money, then I feel way more comfortable giving you a ton of money and seeing what you can do with it. Because you've already shown the proof of concept. You can coach, you can build players, you can do all of that. And if you continuously feeding me players, then yeah, if this is the guy who I'm going to go to when I have an opening. And these openings are going correct. And these teams are going to be looking for coaches because they're going to be spending so much money that if you don't win, then you are going home. And we talk about what was his name, Roland Smith at Tennessee State, eyeing that Memphis job. I'm sure he is. Hey, if this don't work out with Penny, I think that this is his last year. And I think Roland Smith, former Duke basketball player, is going to be like, oh, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah. Nolan Smith, not Roland.
Nolan Smith.
Yeah. Nolan Smith. Yeah, man. I didn't think about it. It was also the pipeline to players. right? If you coach against somebody in the SWAC and then they move up, like, hey, I remember you scored 40 on me, 30 on me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's move on to football.
Let's move on to happiness. Peace.
So we're gonna start out with football news around the league. Falcons Focus, of course. And y'all are like, Falcons Focus, why y'all got a Buccaneer up on the? Let me tell you something. Levante David has caused so much misery for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know. It's either him or Cam Jordan or Cam Newton. Those three players
Cam
over
Jordan.
the last
I pick
15
Cam
years. Yeah. Levante right there. Over the last 15 years have been a thorn in the Falcons' side. Shout out to Levante David finally retiring. One of the, if not, he may be the second, one of the best, if not the best linebackers in Tampa Bay history. I know Derek Brooks is there. But he
ain't
is
DB,
first
but
to
he
tackles,
close.
first to tackles for loss, first in fumble recoveries, first in fumbles forced, second INTs, third in games played.
Right.
That's
Yeah, I
hard to
mean,
argue against, man. He was as important to the defense as Tom Brady was to the offense.
absolutely. This is
That-
number one, job well done, bro. And thank you for leaving. I don't have no other way to say it. Thank you for finding the exit. I do think that this is potentially going to be an issue for Tampa here overall with this team. Is they've been able to be good because they had, number one, they kind of had the hangover Tom Brady guys, but also they just had an older team, and you're going to have more guys either moving on to teams that are probably a little bit more competitive or retiring.
Yeah, and you can argue for amount of time it was Patrick Willis, Luke Kuechly, and then Levante was the new kid on the block, but he was super fast. He came out of Nebraska, and he was a top 5 linebacker. Bobby Wagner's in there. He had to be about a top 5 linebacker almost his entire career. Top 10, definitely
And
his
and
entire
and
career.
this is one of the few places it's always been notorious about, hey, defense is our thing. We believe in defense early. We believe in defense late. We always believe in defense. And to be the leader of one of those, yeah, go ahead. Ring of Honor immediately. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame guy?
Ring of Honor for sure.
I mean, he got a championship, man.
Probably. He's just not one of those names you immediately put in there. But once you look at what he's done, it's not that many guys that have played better than him in the last 12 years. So, yeah, you're right.
Theoretically, the best linebacker, at least, tied for the best linebacker in Bucs history.
Yeah. And the other one is the man.
In the Hall of Fame.
Right. The man, the myth, and the legend. So, valid point. Yep. Hey, you got more tackles than DB? More TFLs? Hey, man. And then in Falcons news, we have signed Brian Robinson Jr., most notably known for being with the Washington Commanders. He spent last year with the San Francisco 49ers and believed to be the Tyler Algier replacement. Tell me how you feel about this, Reggie.
I am super excited. I didn't know where we were going. He is as close to Algier as you gonna get. So Algier was a physical back. I think Brian Robinson is actually, even though Algier improved, Brian Robinson is a better pass catcher.
I agree.
I think Algier is a better pass blocker.
I agree.
But
2 for 2.
But I mean, if you're gonna lose Algier, this is the perfect replacement for him if you're trying to keep the same style.
Right. And now we have the Robinson brothers backfield. I'm also concerned about calling the wrong person. I don't know how you're gonna work that out. Are you gonna put Brian's whole name on the back of his jersey? Because you can't put B. Robinson.
Oh, I mean, you just got to know the number. 7-4 is I assume the numbers to be. So 7-4, yeah. So
I think it's a good
I don't
pickup
know.
though, and I think that coming from coming from the Shanahan team, I think that you have to be disciplined in a certain way. I think you have to run hard. They don't have any guys who don't run hard. They don't. That's not an option over there. And you have to be able to learn a tough playbook on the fly. So I'm excited about the addition. Of course, always
Similar
sad that
blocking scheme.
we had to let Algier go, but if we're gonna do that, then I do appreciate this. Interesting that still no traction on Najee Harris. I would assume that somebody would have been interested by now.
I thought he went to San Francisco.
Did he?
Nope. Nope, he did not. Nope, he did not sign there. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's coming off an Achilles too now. And he wasn't a spry chicken then either.
That's fair, but I just would assume somebody would have kicked the tires, like let's try it out. And I mean,
Somebody will. Somebody get hurt.
you're right. He will definitely be one of those guys who probably a week before.
Yeah. 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 So shout out to the Falcons. And before we get out of here, quick draft rumors, man. So April is this week. So we starting the mock drafts. We starting the draft, the NFL draft preparation and conversation here at the Splashcast. I'll be starting that. Couple rumors. We tried to dismiss it last week. A couple rumors keep coming up. The Falcons have been rumored to have assets for picks. What do I mean by assets for picks? I mean players that people want or are either at the peak of their prime or maybe on the downside, trading to get picks so that we can then draft younger players
Like
or
who?
cheaper players. I keep seeing Jesse Bates. I would be frustrated if it happened. He's
We ain't ready for that.
29, 30.
We ain't ready for that. Which
He's
probably means that it is time to trade him. When players are at the peak of their asset, when players are at their peak, that is notoriously one of the things I say. That is when it's time to trade them, because everything after that will be on the down slope. So I may have to listen to
and
my
they're
own
trying,
words.
yeah, and they're trying to
He's so good though. Damn,
well, the whole situation with Pierce kind of put through a monkey
that
wrench
put
in a lot of our plans.
that put everything kind of in flux, and I don't know what flux. Like we still don't really have a resolution, and
We
we
won't.
don't
Nobody's
have a.
commenting on it.
It's gone damn near radio silent now, and it is a tricky situation going on over there. And I can only imagine that being Stefanski is and Cunningham are like, we got to figure this out. I don't want this to bleed over. I don't want this to be an issue, and we got to get off to the right start. Football season
Yeah.
too short for you to be playing around for the first half of the season.
Too many expectations. And then the second one was Kyle Pitts. I mean, other teams can still offer him a contract extension, sign and trade, and he would fetch you some picks. If you
The
do that,
only
you
thing
have
that
to trade him to the AFC, bro. You have to trade him to the AFC.
the only thing that frustrates me is I would have done that earlier, and then I would have tried to go after Isaiah Likely. Waiting until now, I don't. Austin Hooper can't be the replacement either now. Like
Again, it's all rumors, but you would assume that they're going. They have met with the dude Eli Stowers, who is the tight end from I think Vanderbilt, 6'5", 2 something. We'll see. But again, these are just the rumors I wanted to bring up. But y'all make sure y'all keep an eye on Jesse Bates and Kyle Pitts.
yeah, I would probably like to stick with Jesse for one more season. After that, then I could probably be a little bit more comfortable because of Watts and Bowman. But Bowman coming off that injury, I want to see him play a full season healthy and just give him another year to develop before we go in a different direction. For
And
me,
there's a bunch of safeties coming out. It's a bunch of players coming out next year. Like next year's draft is this year's NBA draft, where you have so many quarterbacks, so many DBs, so many receivers coming out next year. It's going to be, think about it. You got Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Arch Manning, KJ Bolden. That's
everything, everywhere.
4. That's 4 that I've named. All the Miami dudes. So it's going to be a crazy draft. So I get it. I get it. But with that being said, and good time, ladies and gentlemen, we have now gotten through the appetizer and the first course. We now about to get to the main course of this podcast, which is going to be the basketball segment. We got NCAA basketball, tourney time, women's basketball.
I'm gonna tell y'all, we gonna do this in 2 different segments. It ain't not no way in hell we gonna go all the way from college basketball to talk about the MVP. Can't do it. Can't. So we're gonna do this first section.
We'll put in drink break number 2.
Right. Yeah. After college, we will come and we will reconvene because March Madness is chaos, and then we have to come back.
Absolutely.
Y'all already know that NBA has been in playoffs, and there are 6 games left for most teams left in the season, and everybody has the same record. So
yeah,
and the Jaden Ivey rant. So it's everything. So we will return here briefly. We're gonna come back and we're gonna do college. Y'all like, follow, subscribe, grab a drink, mentally prepare yourselves. We'll return shortly. And we back, Lord.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 225 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. We're going to do college basketball first. Had a lot. This is the part of college basketball that is the most entertaining and the most fun to watch. Tournament time, Sweet 16.
It's a shame they won't do this all season, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Well, women's does.
And that's the reason we support them. Go, ladies.
But before we get to the tournament, we're gonna talk about before we get to the Elite Eight of Sweet 16, we're gonna talk about some movement around the NCAA tournament. So if y'all remember, it happened not too long ago, maybe last week. I think North Carolina was upset. And Hubert Davis, as a result, everybody was calling for him. It was almost a foregone conclusion that it was time for him to get fired from North Carolina so that they can go and get somebody that they want that could win. So tough for Hubert.
Yeah, tough for Hubie. I think the writing was on the wall for him. As tough as this is, and the reason I say it's tough is this is his alma mater. Also, sometimes there's grace in the morning. I tell people that all the time. Getting out of a bad situation while it sucks right now, getting out, getting onto another staff, get the stench off of you, and getting on to somewhere else, you can turn it around. Like, this ain't the end. It ain't the end all be all. UNC basketball blue blood, they have an expectation, and unfortunately, he wasn't meeting the standard. He did have some good wins, but he wasn't consistent enough. And good luck to the next guy. It's going to be just as tough for him as it was for Hubie. This ain't an easy place to coach and win.
Well, also, Hubert Davis went 2-1 against Coach K, so he can always say he had a winning record against Coach K. Got him up out of there, really. Ushered him on to glory. You know what I mean?
Right.
Coaching
yeah,
glory. What I mean.
Usher that man to glory is crazy.
Unfortunately for Hubert, I do think that Caleb Wilson was his ticket to another year. And then once he got hurt, it was like, well,
all she wrote.
And then y'all losing in the tournament was just kind of what sealed the deal. It was kind of like
And that's the part
Tomlin Harbaugh type thing where it was like, no matter what you did, unless you won the championship or made the Final Four, they was getting you up out of there, big dog.
and in hindsight, nobody's gonna look back and say, "Oh, his best player was hurt." It's what I say about injuries all the time. Yeah, it matters, but nobody remembers. Did you win? Did you lose? And this is gonna be a case where,
UNC, bro, you should have more than one good player. Just like
yeah, I
Duke.
mean, you should, but I mean, also Duke has all of them, and you got NIL, so they're just spaced out infinitely more. So that expectation, hey, y'all have spent some money, some big money.
Yep. And speaking of money, the number one candidate is rumored to be Billy Donovan. Isn't it funny how when we have these conversations about these coaches, we literally just talked about the Bulls. I think it's either last episode or episode before, and it was like, what is Billy Donovan going to do? He's been in Chicago for what I looked up today was 11 years.
Middling. Just being in the play.
Mid.
Playing every year. Playing. And you've seen these other teams go up, and like you've seen the Pacers come around you. You've seen the Magic come around you. The Heat have been consistently better. The Hawks have traded their number one player, and they've now kind of looked like they're headed in a different direction. If you don't get anything done, then what are you doing in basketball?
I think that was his role in Chicago. I don't think Billy was ever supposed to be the end all be all in Chicago. And I also think Billy knew that probably after like year 4 or 5. And I think Billy has been biding his time until the right job, whether it's college or pro, to get the next job. And that's a blue blood. A blue blood would be North Carolina, a Duke, which I don't remember if he was rumored to be in there. I think Duke had already pretty much had Shire pretty much on the list. But North Carolina, Duke, high-paying jobs like maybe Texas, UCLA is back in women's basketball. Like those are the teams that I would see in college, or the Knicks, some type of, or maybe Las Vegas in the pros. But so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all for him, and he would be a great addition. The other rumor is Michael Jordan has apparently reached out to
Arizona's head coach. I can't think of his name. But
Arizona's head coach.
Also, the golden child himself has put more pressure on Florida to extend him after we extended him last year because he is young. He's already won a championship. We had a good regular season. I think that we had a good regular season with some missing some offensive talent, and he's the young hot shot guy. So more pressure. I think that he should stick with Florida because we gonna spend the money. It's one thing that we have.
I bet you do.
Well, I mean, I think that Florida is a good place to be if you're a coach and you can be good because you're gonna get the money. We're gonna spend it, and we like winners and we love winners.
Yeah, but I mean, again, UNC is UNC in basketball,
right? I wouldn't hate it, but if you go to UNC, at best, you're just one of the guys. At Florida, you're already the guy junior. And if you win one more, then you're the guy. And then everything after that, you're the king.
I mean, yeah. In basketball, yeah. I am surprised that he doesn't have. I don't know if it's his agent and him doing this where they don't have multi-year and I just keep winning and y'all just gonna keep paying me.
No. We extended him, but we want to. Let's give you some more money so you don't even think about it no more.
Well, the buyout drops from 16 to 11. That's what it is. It drops from 16 million to 11 million after April 16th. 11 million when the NIL era, we've seen football, they paid $70 million to get people out of there.
I can't remember who brought this up, but there is a valid point by, I forgot what NBA player it was, that if you're going to spend all of this money to get rid of the player, get rid of the coach, you might as well, the buyout money, you might as well invest in NIL and try to get him some better resources, unless you really just think you missed that terribly.
It all depends on who's available too.
I
Right.
agree, but I mean that made me
Again,
it made me pause for looking at the buyouts and you spending $20 million. Well, if the buyout is going to drop by 10, why don't you just give him the 10? Unless you just really feel like these guys aren't even close. Then you got to look at the people who made the decision.
yeah. And with the way the NIL market is anyway, you can do anything. There is no repercussions. Just look at Baton Rouge. I have never seen this before, or have I? And I'm just drawing a blank right now.
When you say you haven't seen, you talking about Wade or
with Will Wade,
exciting whites.
Actually, everything that's in this LSU segment, I've never seen before. Will Wade, including Mike Tomlin's son, Will Wade was the coach at LSU. Yeah, that was a good one. He got caught basically bragging about FBI surveillance, bragging about blue chipping a player, basically giving them a duffel bag of money or something like that of some sort, paying for a player. He gets fired. He sits out for 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Then he goes to McNeese State. He immediately wins at McNeese State. I think he made the tournament. Then he's hired by North Carolina State, and they become good and make the tournament immediately. And then the team that he got fired from for breaking the law, which now is not breaking the law because it's NIL era, hires him back. So, and I think LSU was put on probation. Y'all fact check me on that one. But what's crazy is he's back at LSU.
Yeah, I mean,
what a time to be alive in Baton Rouge, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is at the end of the day, they trying. This is what trying looks like. And you got Mulkey, who's the queen around there, but she ain't beloved by everybody due to some of her thoughts and beliefs. You got the Lane train stopping there. Who knows what that next destination is? But he's exciting. All of them are interesting, intriguing, and due to, I mean, they're going to bring eyes. They're going to bring players. The question is, will everybody stay out of trouble?
Well, it's also interesting how all three of them were hired too, right? Will Wade left North Carolina State like a thief in the night. It was rumored that he had basically given a silent. Yeah, they were put on probation in 22. Appreciate it, Kev. It was rumored that. Yeah, that's what it was. 22. It was rumored that he actually started or purchased a home or whatever February 23rd. So even though he was shooting all of these commercials with North Carolina State and giving everybody like, I'm going to be here, I think he just recreated the Jim Valvano famous commercial for North Carolina State like last week, and then left by sending an email from his agent.
I ain't going to be there.
That's how Will Wade left. Think about Lane Kiffin, how he left Ole Miss. Oh yeah, held them hostage and then accepted the job the week before, or a couple weeks before the college football playoff game.
Now I think that some of this.
Wait, one more. Kim Mulkey had just won the national championship with Baylor and Brittany Griner, and then she left and went to LSU. All of them left them schools a bad taste in the mouth.
I do think that the best thing that we could do is get these timelines changed. NCAA not helping these situations by not having appropriate timelines where coaches can end one thing and move on to the other thing. Now, the other part is some of these people need to find their integrity. And ain't enough timelines in the world to make you find integrity. But I think that we could at least help and mitigate some of it for the players. If you're going to be a piece of shit, you're going to be a piece of shit. Ain't nothing going to change that.
Yeah. And they got three, and depending on who you talk to, they got three.
I just knew Reddish going to be like, and they got some. Go
I
ahead.
had to
Go
clean it
ahead.
up. I said, according to, depending on who you talk to, they got 3 of them. And dang, I didn't think about how they got Saban. Not how Saban left. He left LSU that way.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to talk about the men's basketball tournament first. It was the Elite Eight, which was UConn versus Duke, Illinois versus Iowa, Arizona, Purdue, and Michigan versus Tennessee. Game of the day, UConn versus Duke. UConn comes all the way back against the number 1 seeded Blue Devils.
Unbelievably.
Unbelievable. I think at one point they were down like 18 points. They come back and get a steal and a half court. I don't even call it a heave. That was just a shot. Logo
He
shot
shot it
from 3. Nothing
after
but
he
net.
went 0 for 4 for the other threes during the game. So shoot, and he believed in himself and shot that shit and made it.
Duke was sick. Shire was sick, and depending on who you are, my wife's from Durham. She was ecstatic that Duke lost. Not only was she happy that they lost, how Duke lost was so crazy. If y'all go back and maybe in this reel, I'll have it playing at the bottom. But if y'all go look, man, I can't believe they won that game. The little boozer was crying. He was crushed, turned the ball over.
I feel bad for him, but my Gators going home seems way more. We all out of here early. I feel way more comfortable about it now with everybody having a seat right next to us. I can cope a little bit easier. Seeing Duke go home made me feel a lot better because I do think that they were a better team than the Gators. That's just my own personal feelings and thoughts about it.
They made it to the Elite Eight now. I mean, they made it to the bracket final. They just lost on a heave. They really choked. They choked this game away.
And I hate it because I do like I like Boozer a lot, and I think that he's a tough kid. And I hate that. Number one, you can see he said one of them said I cost our team the season. The other one's like, this is just a terrible feeling. That's rough, man, for a college kid.
Is Duke overrated?
All
them players that they've had over the last 20 years. And they only got one title. I don't think they got a title. They ain't got a title in the last.
You had Coach K, who was good, but the game had started passing him by as far as like going towards
great.
I mean, great, right? Correct. I don't want that to be the thing, but he just wasn't the most accepting of the one and dones, and that was a fundamental change. That it's like what's your boy Clemens? It's like Dabo in the transfer portal. Like you can fight it all you want to. Eventually, you have to say, "Hey, the game has changed, and I have to adapt."
20 years might be too much. 10 years, not 20. 20 years ago. Nah, they was cooking. 10 years.
And then now they have all of the guys, but they haven't mastered how to win. And it's tough when you're going to have those type of, ask John Calipari. Like if you're going to have all of the NBA guys, you're only going to have them for a short period of time. You're having Kaba Malouk for 1 year, Cooper Flag 1 year, the Boozer brothers for 1 year, and then they're getting the hell on. The rest of these,
Jason Tatum,
right? And you are basically putting all the guys into the NBA, but you can't. You're really rebuilding a program every year, or like around a guy who's not going to be there next year. Like he's literally not going to. As soon as the season over, his college career is over. Yeah, and that's tough. Yep.
But they gotta figure it out. They will. I mean, Duke is Duke. They're gonna get. That's another school that's gonna have. They're gonna buy their way into some explanation.
Right, and they ain't gonna let Shire walk out of the door because he's knocking on the door and he's putting everybody in the NBA at the same time. So it takes time. And I hate to say it, but even the guys who are the best at this, it took them a long time before they won their championship. Everybody ain't gonna be Todd Golden. And I think that put an unrealistic expectation on things. You have a guy who kind of comes in and wins really quick. You go back and look at the Tom Izzo's, Coach K, John Calipari. They had to get it out of the mud.
Yeah, Coach K won a championship in almost every decade he coached. 90s, 2000s, two in the 2010s. That's crazy. that's that's amazing. Um, other games. Illinois, young Peja, Peja Stojakovic's son leads Illinois to beat Iowa 71-59. Strong, dominant game by Illinois. That backcourt duo they have of Peja's son. Golly, what is his name?
And Keaton Wagler?
Peja's son. Keaton Wagler, but Peja Stojakovic's son.
I cannot remember right now. But the thing about
they are beasts, though.
And the quote-unquote Eastern Block 5 is, I think that colleges are going to start reevaluating European teams, European professional teams, and saying, hey, if it's one of these schools, it's not going to be the one-and-done producer. Can we go get 3 or 4 guys who are still kind of young but been playing in Europe at these top-tier teams? Hey, can you come over here and play college for 3 or 4 years and let's try to win a championship? And I don't hate it. You got to figure out how you're going to be successful. And everybody ain't going to get Cooper Flagg and Boozer and everybody else in the world. You got to figure out a way to get your team to be successful. And that might be more of the Kelvin Sampson role, where let me find some older guys who are more developed and just stronger basketball players, since I can't go get the best guy in college right now, or the best guy in high school right now.
They're not listed nobody's age. Only classification.
For what? For what? Lifelong learner, baby. We're trying to win this chip.
Yeah, Keaton Wagler, though. Keaton Wagler is the reason really I really want to talk about this. He's starting to be mocked more and more to the Hawks, assuming that we get the 7-8 pick, right, versus the 1,
him
2,
and
3,
Michael Brown. Now, I like Keaton Wagler. He can shoot it. It does concern me that he's 6'5", 6'6". No dunks. No dunks is scary. We need, hey, you going to play on this team, we need you to finish. Finishers only.
Maybe having scary finishing now. But
right. So the last thing I want to do is have another guy who don't dunk at 6'5". If you don't dunk in college, I mean, maybe you could, but I don't know if you're going to do it in high school. I mean, I don't know if you're going to do it in combo, though,
right? He's a 1-2.
Yeah.
Really a 2-1. Probably really more of a 2-1.
Maybe a 2-3. 2-3 in the NBA. I don't know if his handle is sound enough for him to come in and be a facilitator, not like A Cuff or Michael Brown or Darren Peterson. All of those guys I think have infinitely a better handle. His thing is his height and length on a team that's already kind of tall and long. He would be an excellent addition.
Yeah. They beat Iowa the whole game. Game really wasn't that close. And then of course Arizona just absolutely overwhelms Purdue. Arizona is, every time I see them being featured, they be beating the hell out of people. 15, 20 points.
And that's how you get a call from Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Hey, want to come over to Tobacco Road?
Funny story. My name's Jeff. A lot of people call me Mike. They want to be like me. I have sneakers. Are you interested? I also win NASCAR.
Very true. Very true. So now Arizona will take on Michigan, because Michigan just exposed Tennessee as the fraud that they are. Beat them by like 30 points. So now UConn plays Illinois, which is going to be a really good game.
Absolutely.
And then Arizona plays Michigan, because Arizona and Michigan are the two heavyweights of this Final Four, with UConn and then, of course, Illinois. I can't wait for these games. These games are April 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Time to lock in.
You got Crazy Hurley, who got into it with the referee. I do think that he should be fined.
That boy was staring.
I damn near think that he should be suspended, but you probably cannot suspend him for a Final Four game.
Not in the Final Four.
You can't do that to a referee, though. You cannot put your forehead on his forehead. No. And that referee should have punched you in your shit to keep it 1,000 with you. Yeah, I'm a grown man. And you think we're gonna go forehead to forehead? No. Ain't no way. Illinois is a very good balanced team.
Very much so.
Very interesting to see what they do. And then, like you said, you got the heavyweight punchers in Arizona and Michigan here. Michigan and Yaxel, that's another guy who we potentially could go after, kind of a talented tween big-ish who can pass.
Arizona got one too that we could go after.
I'm
interested. 6'11" forward center.
I'm interested to see what this plays out with. And yeah, I think that we could potentially, out of these 4 teams, we could end up with a guy from one of these 4 teams. Should be fun to watch. And now it's finally interesting enough for me to.
Is that you said Chris Sinak Jr. Sinak from Arizona?
Yep.
Yeah, 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan. But the Hawks don't like to use people with long arms for some reason at the 5. Shout out to Quinn, pissing me off. Which
downrange.
With that being said, man, I can't wait for that. But of course, y'all know we tuning into this
oh man,
NCAA women's basketball.
The killer herself.
Dawn. First off, shout out to Dawn. Made her 9th Elite 8 in 11 years. One of those years was COVID. So shout out to Dawn. And then of course they actually just beat TCU. They took out Oklahoma 94-68 to even get to the Elite 8. And then they just played TCU tonight and they won by 20-something points.
Barbecue chicken. Thanks for playing. Hope you have fun. And the worst part about her and the best part about her is she's really nice even on the way out. Hey, she's signing basketballs. Hey, peace and blessings. Next year, we don't hate you. We love you. Y'all played a good game. Shake everybody. She is a lovable opponent. And while I do appreciate how classy she is, that probably will also just drive me so crazy.
You can't beat her.
Don't whoop me and then love me. Like let me be miserable.
Yeah, and I hate to have to keep playing them every year. Like Syracuse has to play UConn every year. That lady was mad. Syracuse coach, she was like, bruh, y'all keep putting us in the same bracket for 9 straight years. There's no way we're in the same bracket for 9 straight years.
Right.
And I was like, I mean, I'd be upset too.
Help me. Somebody help me. Get these people away from me. Let's move right on here. Very big.
Did you watch this game?
Absolutely. And of course, I do want to remind y'all that there is a little beef between Kara Lawson and Flage. And earlier in the season when LSU was cutting Duke's ass, Flage talked big shit to Kara Lawson, Duke's coach. I think that it has something to do with something that happened in the summer. But they don't love each other. And for this game to come down to one shot at the end on Flage, it's a rough way to go home in your final college basketball game. Yeah, but that's the reason we love this.
What we're talking about is Duke upsets. Yeah, upsets LSU. Duke, which is really not upset. The number 3 seed shocks LSU at the buzzer. Wins 87-85 over LSU. I thought LSU had come all the way back to win. And then what's your girl that transferred from South Carolina to LSU?
Malaysia Fulwale.
Malaysia Fulwale got a steal and went up for the layup. And Moki was saying she should have backed it out. But it was a great game by Duke. Duke
you don't pay Malaysia for that. Lay with the butter, gonna lay with the butter. That's what it is. You gotta live by it, die by it.
Yep. But and then Duke, who dominated the boards in this game, hit the game winner, and it was smoke. It was spicy. It was spicy all game too. This was a very, very entertaining
Elijah
game.
was
So now,
crushed too.
yeah, she was tough. She was tough. It was tough for her, man. So Duke moved on to play UCLA. They just lost. UCLA is the number 1 team in the nation. They're really, really good, and Duke hung with them. But second half, it was over
Life
with.
comes
Y'all
at you
just ran out of
fast.
gas. Yep. And then, of course, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish defeat number 2 Vandy 67-64. Helena Hidalgo. Is that her first name, Helena? Did I just butcher that?
Hannah.
Hannah, I did. I knew it. I was like, that does not. There is an L in there that I didn't. Yeah. Hannah Hidalgo had almost a quadruple double: 31 points, 11 rebounds, 10 steals, and 7 assists to lead them over. Vanderbilt. And she played. This is the first time, I believe, in like the last decade or so that Notre Dame has made the Elite Eight, which is the bracket final. Unfortunately, they had to play UConn, and they ended up losing by 18. She still had a great game. Gino Ariama said that she was the best point guard in college.
And this is going to be another really big WNBA draft where you're going to get a lot of players. And they're all, I think, really good players, too. It ain't no slouches.
Yeah. But Hannah Hidalgo's coming back, though. She already told Gino. He was like, "You going pro?" She was like, "Nope, I want to fight. I want to get y'all one more time."
I mean,
so they play each other.
It's tough to walk away from the money because there's so much money. Now, this is the other part is when you transition, it's like when we was at Harkness and they have no air conditioning. Now y'all coming in with super maxes, y'all coming in with planes, y'all coming in with paternity leave. It's a whole different, and they got another girl at USC. USC ain't gonna be no joke next year.
Yeah, I was about to say Juju does come back next year too.
But that's women's basketball. I'm glad the world is coming around. I used to be a fan by myself, and then y'all cared too much and got in the way. Now I think y'all finding a good happy medium to just enjoy the product and shut the up. Thank you.
And then of course we said UCLA beat Duke already. So UCLA will play the winner of the Texas-Michigan game. And let me tell you, it is UCLA versus Texas. Michigan might as well have been an 11 seed. They lost by like 20-something points.
Lord.
They beat them to death. So the Final Four is set. Gino and UConn versus UCLA and also Texas and South Carolina. South Carolina and Texas play each other. Texas beat the shit out of South Carolina in the SEC championship game.
I feel like it's just Gino and Dawn in this forever fight. And Miss Ivy coaching at Notre Dame, she's right there in that same conversation. But it's like that fight is never changing. And I can understand get into this because
I disagree. That fight always changing for Gino. Gino that survived Tennessee, Baylor.
You're right.
LSU, South Carolina.
Grizzled veteran. Just go out there. Hey, who y'all got now? But I think that Dawn ain't going nowhere.
Nah.
And ain't no running from her either.
And she likes where she is. Yep. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a mid basketball segment break. We'll be right back with, now we're going to get to the pros, our Atlanta Hawks talk, followed by NBA news around the league, talking about the playoffs and all of those good things. Y'all stay tuned. We will be right back.
Hey, man. Y'all buckle up. I told y'all it's been the playoffs since All-Star. People just not figured it out with 6 games left in the season, and we all have the same record. Hawks won today, though, and the Braves. Celebrate. Go to your job tomorrow and kick something over. How about that?
Y'all stay tuned.
Don't do that because the Splashcast not finna. We not finna employ you. Peace.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our second half of our final segment of episode 225 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. Our pro basketball segment. We just finished up our college basketball segment. We're gonna start out with the Atlanta Hawks talk. First off, go ahead. Y'all know football is my lane. Basketball, let's go ahead, get ready, stretch, breathe, stretch, shake, all of
All
those
right.
things.
Now, I asked that y'all bear with me. I asked that y'all focus. I asked that if I get to moving too fast, Reggie, slow me on down. Because I get to rolling, I get to rocking and rolling, I start feeling it, and I lose my mind. But we're going to start out. We're going to go back and cover last week first so we can tell y'all where we at and what's going on. How about that? First thing we're going to do, we beat the Pistons. Fantastic win in overtime over the Detroit Pistons. I am going to go ahead and cover the caveat early. There was no Cade. With that being said, the Pistons are still a good team without Cade. I think they like 8-2 over the last 10 without him. Duren has been playing good. We're going to get to Jenkins later. He's been playing his ass off, and the rest of the team is capable and able. With that being said, Jalen Johnson, 27 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds. Kick-ass game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. C.J. McCollum carried us. 27 points, 5 assists, 5 3-pointers made, 11 points in the fourth quarter. And then Dyson having the Dyson Daniels game, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He is a point guard and a center at the same time. Ben Simmons, you have missed your calling. I really wanted us to beat them more efficiently with no Cade, but Duren is a man. And when I say a man, he is the man. There is nobody big or strong enough to deal with him in the NBA. The biggest issue I had in this game is no Christian Koloko. And Okongwu fouled out with about 5 minutes left in the game, and we were stuck with Jock Glondale. I will say that as much as we beat the Pistons, they beat themselves. If I was coaching the Pistons, I would have fed the ball to Jalen Duren every play once Okongwu came out of that game. I would have made Jock Glondale earn his money. He would have earned every bit of his wages against Jalen Duren. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think he would have been able to stop him.
Yeah, Durham was absolutely murdering us. But you did say, because of course y'all know we talked back and forth, right? So like when I was talking to Norwood about the game, we talked during the game. He was like, "Yo, Durham's gonna run out of gas," because they absolutely fed him the whole first half, like, and he was killing us. And also, Asar Thompson, Amen, gets a lot of the pub because he handles the ball more. He's in Houston with KD in the Western Conference, etc. And Cade is the man. Nah, hey, Asar Thompson's defense is absolutely insane.
Sweltering.
It's Dyson Daniels level. He is a problem. And he was giving CJ McCollum until the fourth quarter. He was giving CJ McCollum hell bringing the ball up court. And he's the reason that they actually, him and Duren are the reason we were up by like almost 20 points. And they came out on like a 19-2 run to get back into the game in the third quarter to start the second half. And we had another bad third quarter. And that, along with not playing Christian Koloko, and it wasn't even the fact that we didn't play him, we didn't even dress him. So when Okongwu got his third fourth foul, I was like, bro, it's Longdale and Landale, and we were gonna play
Mo Gay.
Mo, but Mo can't do nothing with Duren.
No.
He's trying.
And that's when you play against the small ball centers, Mo Gay is probably fine against most of those guys. Jalen Duren is a man, and you should have used the 7 foot. First of all, we don't have enough centers with just for this team specifically if they were to have B Stu back, but we should be carrying 3 centers when we play against the Pistons. They play big, they play strong, they play in the paint. Keaton Wallace and Gabe Vincent are redundant, the utmost redundancy. And it just does not make any sense. I hate to say it, Keaton Wallace, your time in Atlanta has probably come to an end. But it hasn't made sense to keep dressing him and not dressing Koloko. I don't know why Quinn won't acknowledge that, hey, maybe we should stop some people and play the guys who can stop people instead of just forcing the defenders to just try to make it happen all the time. The post defense leaves so much to be desired. But I am happy that we did get this win against a team. And if I remember correctly, this was in Detroit. So, yeah.
After that, just beat the Lakers.
Right. They ain't chump without Cade, for sure. This was a really good win. This is what I'll consider a good win. This is a team that we weren't necessarily supposed to beat, and we definitely weren't necessarily supposed to beat them in their house because the Pistons, it'd be loud in there. Next up, you got anything else about that Pistons game before I get to moving?
No, that's another bad third quarter, man. And I was looking to see if Kuminga actually played in this game against the Pistons. I can't remember. I think he did because he didn't play against the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. Kuminga struggled, and that'll be up for my overall thoughts. So yeah, I'm done with the.
We definitely, after we get done, I do want to have the Kuminga discussion. Actually, yeah, we can end that. Right. Matter of fact, right after Nikhil Alexander-Walker. But let's move on here. The Celtics game we lost. There was Jason Tatum. There was no Jaylen Brown.
No graphic.
Yeah, it's right there.
This is okay.
Yes. Jalen Johnson, 29 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 5 threes, 6 of 6 from free throw. Thank you. CJ, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 threes. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, 24 and 5. Number one, we struggled. I don't think that this is the best refereed game. Number two, we let Peyton Pritchard basically cook us. I get frustrated in things like that because we have multiple defenders who we can just basically sick on a guy and cut his water off. And I don't think that we do that enough. I think that would do us a ton of good work early if we just don't lose to one guy, because Tatum floated for the first 3 quarters. Like, he played okay, but he got the injured knee. There was no Jaylen Brown. And if not for Peyton Pritchard just going ballistic, we could have and should have beat this team. And Quinn just not ending him is frustrating. Put Mo Gay on him, put Gabe on him, put Dyson on him until he's had enough. Quinn sometimes is a slave to his rotations, and they're not even great rotations.
Dyson Daniels, beating a dead horse here. Dyson Daniels was 3 of 8, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He had his hands full with Pritchard. Pritchard hit like his first 6 threes. Once he hit 3 in a row, I was like, oh, well, this is what it's about to be. I knew he was going to go crazy. We did not see Koloko. I would have loved to see Koloko because at the end of the game, especially in the latter parts of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, Jason Tatum got hot by going to the rim. And then his mid-range came, and then he started hitting threes.
Yeah, when he started hitting the mid-range,
it was over with. And that's what I really take from this game is we don't have anybody to guard him for real. He's 6'10". He's taller than 14 of the 15 players on our roster. I think the only person that's taller than him is Koloko. Maybe Landale. I think Landale. So that's 2. So we lost this game because we could not get a rebound. The fourth quarter, the game was close. As you can see, it was only 109, 102. The game was close, and they basically ended the game with 2.5, 3 minutes left. We were down by 4 or 3. 3 or 4. It was 2.5, 3 minutes left in the game, and they got 3 straight offensive rebounds. 3 or 4. And that was the end of the game. We had to go to the foul game at that point.
Well,
We lost this game. I think we should have won this game, and we had our chances to win this game, is what I was trying to say.
I think that us losing this game was a good kind of, hey, wake up. Number two, we do like Jason Tatum is good. And I think that his ability to let Peyton Pritchard just kind of cook all game allowed him to save his legs for when he really needed it. But we have Jalen Johnson and we have Muhammad Gay. Jalen, you're going to, if you want to take that next leap, and as we talk about in this MVP conversation, you keep jumping up the list, and you want to be on one of these all NBA teams. Offense is great, but you have to do a better job of checking in, locking in on defense, and locking up guys because you play the position that everybody plays now. And when you have Tatum, you just can't let him just make every mid-range. You just can't. And I know that that's a lot to ask out of a human because that's what he does. But if you want to be in the same category as him, and I can say that you had 29, 6, and 6. So everything that he gave you gave him more. But this was just an opportunity for you to win a game with no Jaylen Brown.
Well, and as I said before when we were talking, I knew that this was going to be the tougher of the game, not because we were going to Boston, even though playing in Boston is tough. We've beaten Boston in Boston.
Plenty of times.
The fact that Jason Tatum's 6'10", and we don't have as many bodies to throw at Tatum.
Jalen Johnson, you 16 too, brother.
Well, it didn't work. Jalen ain't the defensive guy. So, but we have defensive guys, and we'll get into the Celtics part 2 when they didn't have Tatum and we had Brown. Right. Brown 6'6". A little different game there.
And yes, we beat them tonight. So, but let's get to Kings game. This is tricky. We won 123 to 113.
Tricky means frustrating for me.
And I give and take here. The Sacramento Kings are not a very good team on paper as far as their wins and losses. But they do have a couple of guys who are really good basketball players. And that is a problem for anybody. DeMar DeRozan is now a power forward, I guess. But his ability to just manipulate, get to the line, shoot mid-rangers is just he's one of the best scorers in the NBA history. I don't think that people have picked up. I think he's like top 15, top 13, somewhere in there. He just passed somebody. But when he wants to get it going, very much so in the same way that CJ McCollum does, you may think he's older, but he's still a walking bucket.
That's very true.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 27 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 9 and 9 from the line. Thank you. Jalen Johnson, 26 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 3-pointers made, 50% from the field. Thank you. CJ McCollum, 22 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 9 of 17 from the field. Great night. Jock Landale, he knew that I was on his ass. He knew it. He knew it. He knew it. And I was like, hey, man, play Coloco. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists for Jock Landale. This is the second Jock Landale game, the first one being his initial game when he first was traded here. I'm okay with it. I wish we would have played better, but sometimes you just got to get the win. It don't always have to look good. I would like for them all to be cookie cutter and perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to dog you. You got the job done.
At first, I was frustrated with this game, and I've come to realize this about myself. I'm way more understanding in football than I am in basketball. In football, I would have called this a trap game because this is exactly what it was.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm the exact opposite.
You got a back-to-back in essentially a back-to-back with a home-and-home series with Boston, with Sacramento, who is a top 5 worst record in the league right now. sandwiched in between on the schedule. Not only that, Sacramento has put together the scrappiest I'm still trying to stay in the league team ever, where everybody's going to play hard.
Well, yeah,
Everybody's going
you
to give
got everybody
100%.
on either future expiring contracts or you got young guys who are trying to prove. Maxime Renewed, him and Ryan Kalkbrenner, the centers for the Hornets and the Kings, are two guys who were drafted this year who, while they may not get all the love and adoration, they're going to be very real rotational NBA players. And he gave us 18 points, 10 rebounds, 6 to 8 from free throw. 8 shots, 18 points. Jesus.
And even with the young players, they have players still trying to stay in the league. Precious Achua
Right.
whipped our ass in the first half. DeMar DeRozan still showing y'all that he could play. Malik Monk didn't really play. He looked like he didn't want to be there.
Yep.
But
that is a great way to put it. He looked pissed off that he had to be there.
The College Park Hawks 10-day Hall of Famer Daquan Plowden, 14 points.
He was trying to get his
he came and scored 30. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, they had a bunch of players playing, trying to make Killian Hayes 10 points. Killian Hayes led the comeback against us. They didn't even play the starters of the bench players of the starters. They just let them play.
It was a tale of two halves with Killian Hayes at first, because Killian Hayes, if you followed his career, it's been a journey. And I watched him play some plays. I was like, boy, you are terrible. And then he just kind of the flip switched. And then you see what
reverse layup, steal, dunk. You be like, whoa.
He is athletic and he is the size of a small forward. And you're like, you know what? This is how people resell themselves on you every year, even though we thought that you would be out of the league 18 times before. And also the reason I don't think the Lonzo Ball is going to be done with the NBA anytime soon. As long as Killian is getting the call, Lonzo should get the call before him.
Yep. And this game, we had no Dyson, no Okongwu, no Kuminga. So this was a back-to-back. No, what? Yes, it was. This was a back-to-back, and we weren't going to play.
Yeah, it's definitely back-to-back, yeah.
We weren't gonna play a lot of the players we were going to need because we had to beat Boston. So I wasn't when I sat and watching it, I was frustrated because I didn't think the Kings were good. I was like, Killian Hayes, we should dog them. But then when you get into the details of the game, hey man, win is a win. And it's easier to say that now that we beat this next team again.
Yeah. No graphic for it, but we did beat the Boston Celtics 112-102. It felt good that this time they had the shitty third quarter. We scored 36 points. They scored 22 points. Jaylen Brown, 29 points on 29 shots. You'll take that every time. 10 rebounds.
Looking in the fourth, though.
9 assists, 6 turnovers. We'll take that every time. Luka guards are 20 points on 9 shots and 9 rebounds. That is impressive. Their ability to find guys who just nobody else is that interested in and have them play 20 or 30 really good games is highly impressive. Derek White, not his best showing. 7 points, 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Thank the Lord. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Baylor Shireman. He's been my guy all year because nobody else knows who the hell he is. 26 points. 26 minutes. 3 points, my boy. Have a seat. Jordan Walsh.
Let me introduce you to Zachary Ricochet.
Jordan Walsh, 31 minutes. 8 points. Have a seat, my boy. Peyton Pritchard off the bench with 16 points, 4 6 from 3. He did what Peyton did. Sam Hauser, 7 points. Hugo Gonzalez played. Keita played, but it just did not look the same with Peyton Pritchard not just torching us. He still went 4 6 from 3, though. God.
Yeah, he was cooking, but we were better running him off the 3-point line this game. And once he gets into the paint, he hit about 2 of them in the first quarter. I was like, dang, he's TJ McConnell in us right now. And then, Dyson, they was like, no, it's either Dyson or Nikhil Alexander Walker on him, and you only switch with Moge. And that was pretty much. And Ricochet, too.
Peyton Pritchard at game worst -19. Got cooked. Okongwu, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Jalen Johnson, 20 points, 12 rebounds. CJ, 14 points, 6 assists. Nikhil, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Dyson, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals.
Aggressive.
Thank you very much. Jonathan Kuminga, 10 points, 6 rebounds. I really appreciate his ability to rebound. We're going to have a discussion about him in a second. Zachary
11
Risache.
good shots, though.
Zachary Risache, 9 points, 4 shots, 2 rebounds. Jonathan Kuminga, Zachary Risache. Kuminga was plus 14, Risache plus 12. That's really what you want out of bench players. You can have your bench players be positive double digits. It's going to be very difficult for certain teams to win. Before we do this, let's have a quick update on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. First 6 seasons, 5 20-point games. This season, he has had 42 20-point games. I assume him not to be done. Thank you, Minnesota Timberwolves. Great job.
Yeah, y'all could use him right now, too.
You guessed it. I appreciate what y'all did to salvage it with Ayo DeSumo and Bones Highland, but let me tell you, you had the guy there, and he's a monster. He damn near playing, like, his ability to be good on offense and defense is amazing. And Dyson's ability to be a facilitator and be good on defense. It makes it very probable
to rebound.
Yes, him and Kuminga's boards are they're that extra part that we weren't getting before, where it's like, damn, if Dyson gets 6, 7, 8 rebounds a game and Kuminga gets 6, 7, those are possessions. And if you can get 12 possessions from those guys, hell yeah, that changes things. Before we get into it, let's talk about Kuminga. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the playoff thought. What do you think about the Kuminga trade now that we've seen a little bit more of the ups and the downs?
I got a few takes. I got a few takes. So up until this game, Kuminga was struggling. This week of the last 4 games, I blame part of that on him for pressing, but I also blame part of that on Quinn. Bro, when Kuminga is struggling, you don't need to leave. If he's struggling in the first 5 minutes, don't leave him out there for 15. Man, like, let him get his head straight and let him figure out and try to coach him up. Like, this just throw him out there to the Wolves thing wasn't working. Against Boston, he was 0 of 5 from the field. Detroit, he's 3 of 9. And we were giving him the ball in isolation plays. What I noticed is what you called for was use him like Jalen Johnson. And it looked like they tried to. And it didn't work. He's not the greatest decision maker with the ball in his hand.
It's always been the thing that they said about him was quick decisions kill him.
But when it comes to like tonight against Boston, first of all, he was locked in because he played defense on Jalen. And that's the point I was making with Boston in this game versus the first game was he was playing defense against Tatum. Tatum was shooting right over him. Tatum, he does take all the difficult shots, but he makes the difficult shots.
Right.
So he was shooting right over him. Jaylen Brown can't do that. I think he blocked Jaylen Brown twice. And then 2, they were using him as the screen roller. They were not putting the ball in his hands. They let Jalen have the ball. They put him in the game when it was Risache, Jalen, CJ, and either Dyson or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And they let Kuminga be the screener and roller, almost in the Mo Gay role. And him getting downhill, Boston couldn't do nothing with him when he was getting downhill. Jalen couldn't do nothing. Nobody could do anything. So I think if Quinn uses him in the correct way, which I hope they look like they're doing, I'm okay with it. But bro, you gonna have to Kaminga, you can't be thinking you a hot dog all-star, brother. You ain't there yet.
That's my thing is I think that number one, we're a defensive team. You should be focused on hanging your hat on being a lockdown defender. And you also have the benefit of you're playing against bench guys with decent defensive coverage around you. That's a blessing. That means it's not like you don't have to be too focused on helping out on everybody else. You just need to you just have to lock your man up. The other part is make the next fucking pass. He wants to be the man so bad that he shoots shots, and it's like it's just not what the offense is, bro. We're not Golden State. We don't have to have one guy shoot all the shots. That ain't what we do over here. We keep passing the ball until we get an easy shot, or one of our shooters shoots it. But too many times he want to live for that back to the basket, fade away, mid-ranger. Bro, move the ball. And if you make one more pass, now don't be like you did earlier in the season and pass under the rim. Don't want you to do that. But you don't have to try to kill your defender by yourself. If it ain't there, back it out, move the ball, bro. We're going to keep passing the ball. That's the reason we lead the NBA.
It's going to come back, dog.
Right. And nobody on this team is ball dominant. It's egalitarian basketball, but you can't come in and be the guy holding the ball, or your ass is going to end up on another team. And I'm going to tell you, Atlanta is probably a place where you want to play. We play the style of ball that's conducive to you. You won't be stuck in Alcatraz trying to guard everybody. And there is a path to you being a starter. So you need to figure out.
I wasn't going to agree with you until I saw them tonight. Seeing them tonight was the first time I saw Kaminga actually play with Jalen. And this is what I was saying when they used him as the screener. And he was able to roll and then either make the pass or be athletic at the rim and get him out in the run. I could see it. I could see him at the 3.
Yeah, because
I can see him at the 3.
You're gonna want CJ to come out of there. Mm-hmm. You don't want CJ to go back to the bench so you can say, "Oh, this guy." When CJ comes in, shoot that shit, shoot it, and you're going to have to keep us at a pretty decent level when our guys come out. And the best way for CJ to do that is have all the shots on that second rotation. But we can only do that is if Kaminga, you get in here and you play good Atlanta Hawks basketball, pass and move. That, hey, this ain't your team, brother. And you need to have you need to have your DeAndre Ayton Capella moment. Oh, that ain't my role here. And the sooner you have that, the better off you'll be. And I think it'll actually do good for your trade value. I think it'll do good for your confidence. And you'll play easier basketball. You'll score a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because if Jalen don't do all that dribbling, your ass don't need to do all that dribbling.
There are a couple other things you brought up that kind of hit on another couple points. What I've noticed, we called for it last week. Ricochet has overtaken Corey Kispert's spot.
Who?
Ricochet. Ricochet is the number 2 guy off the bench now, maybe number 1, depending on how you view Mo Gay. But Ricochet has earned minutes over Kispert. Kispert hasn't been shooting the ball well. Ricochet has been rebounding well. He's been shooting well. And he's been playing much better defense. And he's going to use all 5 fouls, but he's going to make you tired. He's going to make you tired. And he runs the court. He's a better finisher at the rim. So Ricochet has come out better. Speaking of CJ moving back to the bench and allowing him to be at the 2, Gabe Vincent has really earned his way into the rotation as the primary backup point guard. And I am extremely impressed with his defense, his veteran presence. I just need him to be a little bit more consistent on the 3. But everything else, Gabe is doing.
I'll take 15 minutes
Y'all
of
was
Gabe
hating.
every night. Every night, I'll take 15 minutes of Gabe playing point guard. He once again plays good point of attack defense. He will shoot it if need be. He ain't dancing all in the video, but this is what happens when you leave the Lakers. You go somewhere else, now people are like, you know what? Guy's not a terrible basketball player. Now, I think best case scenario is Gabe Vincent is in the Keaton Wallace role next year, but for the rest of this season, he has proved to be very, very, very valuable. I also look at the end of our bench, and this is the best it's looked in a really long time. Like the backup guys are the Keaton Wallace, Buddy Hield, Corey Kispert, Ace Anul, Christian Coloco. We ain't had those guys. Those are guys who are probably rotational players on certain teams. We ain't had that in the past. You get to the end of that bench and you be like, boy, these are terrible.
And speaking of Coloco, just as Ricochet deserved more minutes over Kispert, Gabe Vincent deserved to be in more at the backup point guard. Coloco deserves to be on the court when we're playing a team that doesn't have a stretch big. We played against Boston. There's no reason Coloco shouldn't have played. Coloco against Detroit had two. Was it maybe it was the Kings? He had 2 blocks, like in the first quarter.
And every time he plays, he has 2 blocks. He gonna get his 2 blocks. Now, this game is a little different because
they ain't playing no center.
Yeah, Kata was out, and Luka Garza is basically your big. And Luka, while he's good, but Luka's 6'10", but Mohamed Gay can handle Luka Garza. He like Luka's good, but he ain't the most like physically gifted. He's just a good all-around basketball player, and I wouldn't mind having him on the Hawks as like a third center. I might like him more than Jock Londale.
But in the first Celtics game, they didn't play him at all, and we couldn't get a rebound.
And yes, and I think that Coloco should be in. Like, hey, dress him from now on. Dress him and don't dress fucking Keaton Wallace. We got Gabe. I hate for it to be that, but we got Gabe and we got Buddy. Give me that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Why not?
And I mean, we also have enough guys who CJ can play a little point guard, Dyson can play some point guard, Nikhil can play some point guard. It's just overly redundant to have Keaton Wallace on the floor when we could have height. And if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes, or if we just get dogged. And I think that Coloco probably will dress in the next game against Orlando. They're a bigger team. I don't know if Jock Londale and his shoulder are going to be ready. So, but
against Sacramento, Jock Lando's shoulder fell off for like 30 seconds. I was like, bro, they got to play somebody.
And had we dressed him, he would have played because Jock should have definitely come out, and he's definitely hurt because he ain't played since. But that's the reason that it's difficult to deal with Quinn sometimes because you see things and like once again, I think that I know a lot about basketball. I'm also not the smartest man on the planet either. I know that you should probably have another center just in case with some size because as good as Mo Gay is, he's really a power forward.
And also, finally, speaking of Quinn, congratulations on his 500th win that he got after we beat the Kings. 500 career wins for Quinn Snyder over a very long career. Started out, I believe, in Utah as a head coach. His head coaching, anyway. So shout out to Quinn Snyder on 500 career wins.
Let's go.
Playoffs.
This is what the seeding looks like currently. You got Pistons at 1. Hold on.
Oh,
Pistons at 1. Can Can anybody update me and tell me who's winning out of the Pistons and the Thunder? The ones playing tonight is great.
Thunder were up by 5 last time. I think the Thunder won.
Oh wow, which is good for us. Another loss for the Pistons. Celtics.
That don't mean nothing for us.
In the second.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's 101 with 30 seconds left. I will let you know.
So the Celtics in second, I think that they're trying to get to that first spot. I think that they very much so want that. I think that Joe Mazzulla wants that for Coach of the Year. I think that Jaylen Brown wants that for MVP. If they win, if they're in first place in the East, and y'all don't give Jaylen Brown the damn MVP after people thought that they would be in the play-in, I think there's a gross misunderstanding of what the most valuable player means. Right now they got us locked in. Well, the Knicks are in third, and that will put the Knicks and Hawks in the first round, which would be interesting. The Knicks have played some pretty good basketball, so have we. I don't think that if I have the Knicks, I would be happy about this. I spent all this money, and then I get a blazing team at the end of the season. That sucks. And I think that they can lose.
I don't think the Knicks want to play. I mean, this is one of the most even Eastern Conferences in a while. I don't think the Knicks are gonna have problems with Charlotte. They're gonna have problems with if with Atlanta. They would have problems with Philly. Everybody would have problems with Philly now that they're healthy. They will have problems with the Magic. Now the Heat, they may be able to beat, just the Heat are smaller. But everybody else,
I think that they would actually probably match up pretty well against the Magic, because you got bigs and wings, and I don't think that they're far enough. I don't think the Magic are ready enough and are cohesive enough as a team to deal with the Knicks. I think that the Hawks, our depth would be the Achilles heel to the Knicks. That starting five is solid, but when you start looking at what we got coming off the bench in Kuminga, Mohamed Gay, Zachary Reese-Shea, Gabe Vincent, 80 of those guys could go for 10, 20, 15 points. I mean, yeah, on any given night. I don't know that the Knicks have that on the bench. Not consistently.
McBride, Diawara, Jose Alvarado has been a shot in the arm for them.
But he ain't gonna do that. Yeah, and came from Utah, Jordan Clarkson. None of those guys, maybe Clarkson, but I think we have enough defense to make it difficult on Clarkson to get to.
7-game series is difficult.
Crazy. But yeah, so that will be unfortunate for them. Then they got Cleveland and the Raptors at 4th and 5th. I do think the Hawks are going to do their damnedest to try to get to that 5th spot. Cleveland is very tricky. They've been winning games, but they haven't been playing the best competition, and they haven't been winning convincingly. I think they did just finally get one or two of those recently, but they are definitely one of my teams to watch. The Raptors, if healthy, could give the Cleveland Cavaliers everything they want and all of what they need. And then play-in wise, Heat, Hornets, Heat. Bam already upset that y'all in the play-in. Y'all could be in the play-in. Y'all could be in the play-in and then go home. That is terrible. Now, the 76ers getting Paul George back after 25 games off. I told y'all then, I think that might be a benefit. It's the best way to make sure that he should be healthy.
Boy, and he looks good since he's been back, boy.
You should. You ain't played 25 games. You should be spry, mama. And I think that could present major problems for the Magic, who just don't have the level of cohesion that you would want from a team that's looking ready to go into the playoffs. The other part is the Magic are kind of disappointing. This is their season.
They down bad, boy.
You ain't supposed to be second or third. The Heat, we kind of expected. They started out hot, and then they came back to reality. The Hornets, they started out slow, but I think the Hornets are the best team in the play-in currently. We knew that the 76ers, they have potential because of their roster, but they also have potential to be where they are because of injuries and the age of their players. You must think that the 76ers are better than the Hornets.
76ers healthy are better than the Hornets. You can't do. They have nothing for Embiid.
Well,
They
this
have
is the thing. The 76ers ain't never going to be healthy, though. I mean, that is a, I
they'll
mean,
be healthy.
Embiid,
They could be healthy. They go with 6 more games left. They're gonna be healthy for the play-in. They're gonna be healthy for the play-in if they're there, of course. No shade,
right.
Kev. But the Magic, man, down bad. They played against the Raptors and allowed a 31-0 run. 31-0 over 2 quarters.
The
That
Magic, something's
Mosley,
got to give.
it's
Something's
tight.
got to
It's
give.
unfortunate. Well,
I
you know
think
that Mosley out of there. I hate to say I predicted it,
I
but
don't.
he's out of
I
there.
mean, he probably is, but I don't. Everything for me goes back to the Desmond Bane trade. You don't. He costs too much. You probably need that money to once again split up between 2 more rotational players, and now you don't have draft picks. They're in a situation where you can fire the coach, but I don't know if it mystically solves their problem. And you have to
They have to
remember,
trade 2 players. They have to trade.
you got to slot the Indiana Pacers somewhere in here next year. And I assume it's towards the top.
I would assume so, especially with that
Now,
draft pick.
you gotta take into consideration Indiana Pacers are somewhere near the top. You also have to take in consideration that Cleveland and New York are above the second apron. Cleveland's above the second apron. I think New York's above the first apron. So if they don't win it this year, they're going to have to divest some assets. They're going to have to trade some players. So that should be interesting. And I don't think that they're good enough to beat the Thunder this year or the Spurs, whoever comes out of the West. I don't think they got it, which is tough because you got to play with what you got. But you spend all this money and you don't. Somebody going to be sad. Knicks or Cavs, somebody going to be sad.
Well, the Cavs already said they trying to sign Harden to a 2-year extension, which is basically a 1-1, and we're gonna go for it the next year or 2.
That means somebody else gonna have to be purged so you can afford that because you already high right now. You got to come down. You got to come down to get away from that second apron because otherwise they lock that draft pick, which you cannot afford to not have.
Yeah. It's tight.
Also, last 7 games with no Cade, Danish Jenkins, 18 points, 7 assists, 47% from 3, 59% true shooting. Jalen Duren, the man himself, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 67% from 2-point. This is it. And for them to be better than the Knicks and the Cavs and not have really spent a ton of money, now you're going to have to spend that money on Jalen Duren. And looks like he's probably going to be first or second price. What centers are better than him minus Joker?
Wemby.
Okay, so he's second team. You're right. So he's second team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
he might be all defensive team.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Which will get you.
Yeah. Because Wemby's going to be 1, but outside of him, no, they could both be first team.
Nah, Chet could be Chet might be there too.
But either way, he's going to be first team or second team. And I'm probably give it to Duren. I have to go look and see how many games Chet played. But Duren has been there solid and played a ton of games. But either way, he gonna be on one of them, and that's gonna make him cost a lot of money. The thing that he's gonna have,
that's why you have Jenkins though,
right? He's the offset, and if he can, and they already re-signed him to a 2 or 3 more year deal. If he continues to play like that, you're right. That balances out the books a little bit. We got one guy who's good but expensive-ish. Then we have a guy who's good and cheap-ish. Makes things a little bit more.
Bro, you can get off Tobias Harris. Because now if you wanted to, you could start Jenkins, and you could put Cade at the 2 defensively. you could put, and of course, he's gonna be the one offensively, of course, but you
Right.
can have. He doesn't have to, initiate offense all the time. It gets you out of just strictly running pick and roll. Even though pick and roll with those two is what you do because that's your best player. It gives you other options, which allows you again to then move a SAR to maybe the 3. And now you do whatever you wanted the 4. You can get a
And you
scoring
don't
4 for all you need.
have to get rid of Tobias. This is the last year of him getting 26. Do you want 15?
Yeah,
You get fit.
sure.
You get 15 and stay here. You could get
Yeah.
20 maybe and go somewhere else. It ain't gonna be nearly as fun. Let me tell you, once again, you have a very limited expectation here. Duran gonna play all the defense. Asar gonna play the rest of the defense. Cade gonna play defense. All you gotta do is not get cooked and shoot mid-range shots. You should probably do that.
Yeah.
And how old are you? Yeah, you're 34 years old, bucko. $12 million.
Bobby Portis. So that's the East. And yeah, I mean, kind of what you're starting to see is in the East and the West, the top 4 teams are separating themselves.
Oh, no.
Of course, you got
I don't think
OKC.
so. I don't agree here. I think it's the top 2, and then the rest of y'all through.
I think the Denver Nuggets and the Lakers have separated themselves from the Rockets, the Timberwolves. I think and the Timberwolves, of course, and is hurt, and the Rockets just, I don't know what's wrong with the Rockets.
It's like
they be winning, but they'll be losing too. Yeah, well, dysfunction. That's what it is. So but those other 4 teams are what 35-4 over the last 10 games.
So this time, let me break this down a little bit different. Of course, if you're on the right, that O means you out. But also watch the Pelicans. They are trying to win every game. They have no reason to try to lose, and they can't beat you. Now, the play-in tournament, I hate to tell you, but you guys also through. Y'all just figuring out how much longer y'all play before it's
over.
Right. I think the Golden State is trying to find a way out of this, try to lose in the play-in and see if they can get into the lottery. Let's be real here. Portland is over. Clippers. It's been fun. Shout out to what's the coach name? I can't see it.
Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, shout out to Tyronn Lue. He spoke into existence. It is impressive the way that you've turned around this team. Congratulations. And I will say, future facing, there is a combination of players y'all have there that could be very solid. Kawhi, John Collins, Benedict Mathurin. Don't forget, if that ping pong ball falls between, I think, 5 and 9, they will have a top 10 pick. And they have Darius Garland. You've saved this season. Potentially, imagine if you could add an AJ to. No, he won't be there. But it's good. It's guys that are
probably a Boozer.
Boozer ain't gonna be there. Boozer's gonna be 1, 2, 3. But there's gonna be a guy there that you should be able to get to add to your rotation. And even if you have to go get you a free agent center, your 1, 2, 3, 4 is actually pretty solid. Garland, Mathurin, Kawhi, John Collins, and a draft pick potentially. Yeah. But it's over. Suns, it's been fun. I think that you've kind of probably increased Jalen Green's value to where he could possibly be traded. I think that experiment should come to an end just because him yeah, very much so a successful season for Portland. Suns, y'all have turned it around after what was terrible last season. You've salvaged this season. Great job. Rockets, do y'all like each other?
No. No.
They hate each other.
But shout out to KD passing Jordan, though. KD did pass Jordan on the scoring list. But yeah, no, they don't like each other. and all of them don't like Kevin Durant. When ownership leaks are saying, "Hey, we regret signing this dude,"
What?
like,
It's interesting because I think that Sengun is probably the guy who goes.
I would assume so.
But I don't know what you replace him with.
Steven Adams and Clint Capella, and let everybody else shoot.
Oh, that ain't enough. They too. I mean, yeah, they're Steven Adams. Like Clint is old, and Steven Adams coming off a bad injury. You need something else there, but I don't know where you get it from. That is, and they need a point guard, and I don't think that Fred VanVleet is the answer either. But he got to be better than what they got. The Rockets have some soul searching to do, but I also think. Hold on, let's go back here for a second. I got to see what their matchup is. Rockets Lakers could be interesting.
Yeah, because the Lakers been talking big trash to them after they beat them twice last week.
I don't think that the Lakers are built for a 7-game series.
Ooh, overtime.
I feel like they are a very good team in one-offs, but when you have to play them day after day after day, they ain't gonna want it, and they're gonna be too dependent on either Ayton showing up consistently or Jackson Hayes showing up consistently every day. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I think the Sengun going to show up every day. I think the KD is, and I just don't trust the Lakers. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves, dogfight to lose. There is going to be a battle because they both got good parts of their team and things that need to be fixed. But talented.
Yeah. I got Denver in that one.
Wait, but the last 2 times, hadn't it been the Timberwolves? Well, then, yeah, you probably can't keep beating them in this.
They beat the Lakers. I might have. Update real quick before you go. Overtime, OKC is up 108-106 on the Pistons. Jalen Duren didn't play today.
So who, and I think Stu is still out, ain't it? Who they got playing the 5?
Paul Reed.
Oh, Paul Ball.
Herter, Thompson, and Jenkins. Levert, Sasser, Lanier, Holland, and Smith. And they played all of them. They played all 10 players.
And that's the part that, hey, the Thunder.
They are.
Oh, SGA, 44 points.
40. He just hit a 3 to take it, to make it a 44 on 19 shots.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily hate that now that I look. Chet
18-21.
Solid game. 13-9 don't seem like enough. Jalen Williams, oh my God, terrible. 31 minutes, 3 points. Did get 13 rebounds though. But you got
that's
the
light skin Jalen. That's not the dark skin Jalen didn't play.
Correct. And still no Isaiah Hardenstein. This is a kind of fair game. Fairish game.
Hardenstein played last week, yesterday, or whenever they last played.
But overall, yeah, this is the fairest game. I will say I'm actually more impressed, even if the Pistons lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double digits. Yeah. And you playing people that we've never heard of. Chaz Lanier. Once you get down to Chaz Lanier, Bobby Clintman, Isaac Jones, and Wendell Moore Jr., and Tolu Smith, then play 19. Who? Oh, no. This is an indictment on the Thunder way more than it is on the Pistons. But I still think that
that's why I brought it up.
Thunder and Spurs are the teams to beat. Everybody else is just watching, praying, and wishing.
Yeah. I think we may have a Kansas City versus Cincinnati type of
absolutely
type of game or type of series when we go Thunder Spurs, because the Spurs Wemby been popping his shit, bro. We dominated him. Like, he be telling the truth, but he be like, "Hey, nah, ain't no."
He really thinks he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Jr.
I told you that. I told y'all that's who it. Day one, that's who he reminded me.
I'm smarter than you guys.
Everything.
I'm better than you guys. I respect the game. All of the things. I'm just better than you. He is. Better. Yeah. And I mean, until proven otherwise,
Henderson would be he's a great player. He'd be the number one pick if I wasn't born. I was like, oh, that's what you lead out with?
Talk your shit. I mean, you're right. I'm 8 feet tall. None of y'all.
That was first interview. I said, oh, okay. That's how we talking.
Then Detroit clinches a Central Division title with a win or a Cleveland loss today. Oh, damn, they kind of need this. New York clinches a playoff spot with a Philadelphia loss, which they did not get.
Yes, they did. Philly lost to the Heat.
Ooh. Well, congratulations, Knicks. Denver clinches a playoff spot with a Phoenix loss and a Lakers win. Phoenix won.
So they won by a lot.
And the Lakers
won by a lot.
Told it. Stomped out the Wizards. And then Lakers clinch a playoff spot in the Pacific Division title with a win and a Phoenix loss, which they did not get. So we continue to move forward. These will be every day from now on because every game matters the absolute most. And that's it. Other than MVP, what else you got?
MVP.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
This some bullshit. All right, Victor ain't won.
Fuck this. Jaylen Brown, numero uno. I'm gonna tell you why. Victor Wembanyama has Stephon Castle. He has Fox. He has Harper. Those three. SGA.
Vassell, you forgot.
Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson.
Jim Penny, Keldon Johnson.
Yes, but I'm talking about the guys like the toppest tier. Like those three guys are really, really good. SGA, Chet, Hartenstein, Jalen Williams, both of them.
Kevon Wallace, who's about to get paid now.
Keaton Wallace, not Keaton Wallace. I forgot his name. The Wallace.
I said Kevon. I said Kevon because I figured that's what black people do.
Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon. And yeah, those two. Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton. Cade Cunningham, Duran, Asar Thompson. That's probably all I'm giving them. Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels. That's probably all I'm giving you. Kawhi Leonard.
Your point is Jalen.
Yeah, all the rest of these guys, if you look at, they have other superstars. Donovan Mitchell had Darius Garland. Now he has James Harden. And he has Jared Allen, and he has Mobley. Anthony Edwards, he got Rudy, he got Julius. You go to Jaylen Brown, who does he have? Derek White.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is Jaylen Brown also is has been the number one offensive player and the number one defensive player on that team all year. He's been guarding the best player in the backcourt. Not out there with the Buddy Lees. Front court. Yeah, and then he's also been leading the team of Jaylen Brown and the Pips. Shout out to Peyton Pritchard, but you still Peyton Pritchard. You're good.
Right.
And basically it's been Jaylen Brown, and either they hit a lot of threes or they give the ball to Jaylen and say, figure it out.
Right.
And he figured it out all the way to the number 2 seed. And now that they get Jason Tatum back, they got to be acclimated. But yeah, Jaylen Brown to me should not be 5. I think he should be up there probably at 3. And I think Luka Doncic should be up there. I mean,
everybody else is
I don't think Victor should be up there. I think Victor should be like 5. Personally.
Derek
He's
White
the defensive player of the year, though.
Is good, but he's not going to win. He don't be on any team or any awards. And then after that, Peyton Pritchard is a backup. Kada barely holding on. He ain't even a starting center. Starting center is Vucevic. He just ruined his finger. Baylor Shireman. Don't even know who he is. I know y'all don't, because I didn't. Sam Hauser, bench player. And they are second in the East and hunting down the number one. I think it is egregious to put anybody else considering the rest of these rosters. What y'all gonna do? Whatever y'all want to do.
I'm surprised Luka is not higher after, or he hasn't moved higher after scoring 140 points in 3 games. And
you got LeBron and Austin, and
yeah,
Aiden.
but they weren't the team that they are now until they started playing through Luka and basically making LeBron the third option.
But LeBron third option is crazy. That defeats the whole purpose. Like, what are we talking? LeBron Raymond James, NBA points leader of all time, is your third option.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brown, what's your third option? I ain't got no third option, boss. It's me.
Yeah. But I it's probably gonna go to SGA. They're gonna be the number 1 seed again. He just had 45. He's been, I mean, he's the guy for them. And they're the number 1 seed. And the MVP trophy is now a best player on the best team trophy. It's not a that's how it is now. That's what it's grown to be.
There is not a player that's more. If you take Jaylen Brown off the Celtics, what you got left?
Lottery. You don't bring Jason Tatum back for sure.
No, hell no. I think that's it.
Ooh, Vic had 41, 16, and 3.
The Toronto Raptors are 42 and 32. The Hawks are 43 and 33. They're leading us by literally 2 percentage points. And we in the hunt.
They play tomorrow.
And they play the Magic. Let's go Magic.
No, they play the Pistons tomorrow.
Oh, even better. Let's go Pistons.
And Pistons gonna be pissed.
Yeah, so hey man, Hawks doing a good job. I think that if we finish the season not in the play-in, it's not how we predicted this season to go, but it is a fucking success. And to be able to say that
yeah.
I think that was, specifically after moving on from Trey and Kristaps Porzingis and finding a way to not be in the play-in is a massive win for the organization.
I think that's what the goal was, that we said what we wanted. We was like, let's see if we can get out the play-in now that we've made all these changes and we played through Jalen. If we get out of the play-in, that's a success. We still have to get there because Philly is getting hot right now. Even though
we got 5 tough games out of the next 6.
Yep, told y'all. I was like, hey man, that's why I was so happy. I was so happy that we won all those games in March. I remember I was like, bro, we got to win these games in March in order to even have a chance to get out to play in, because the way that we end with Magic, Knicks, Cavaliers, Heat, those are 5 desperation games. Everybody in that schedule is desperate, and then you add in the Nets, who just, you play spoiler for all they care.
Right. I mean, we trying to either get to another team, or I'm trying to prove to this team that I need to be in the rotation. Ain't nobody taking no days off.
Nope. You're right, Kev. 76ers schedule is tough too. I think they got let's see what they got real quick.
I would be happy, honestly, if we could go
Timberwolves,
500.
Pistons. Ooh, Timberwolves, Wizards, Bucks, Pacers. That should be 3 wins. But then you got Pistons, Spurs, Rockets. Timberwolves, Pistons, Spurs, Rockets. 4 games in a row.
Yeah, which number one, if you play them 4 games in a row, you could potentially lose 4 in a row and it be over. You lose 4 more?
Not over. You in the playing as well. For collaboration, booking information, or any other inquiries, visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com. Every listen, share, and review.
Wait, hold on. So what should they do?
Until next
like,
time.
follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. We here for it.